Many years ago, a friend and I decided to visit our mutual friend at her university and spend the weekend with her. We had extremely detailed directions to follow, and we were told the trip should take about 3 hours. While nothing went wrong on our drive, it seemed to take forever. I don't remember exactly at what point the woods started, but I do remember traveling through these woods for a long time, perhaps an hour. We were already well past the 3-hour time frame my friend had given us by the time we left the woods. When we finally reached my friend's college town, it was nearly 4.5 hours since we'd left. We didn't get lost. We never hit traffic or stopped for more than a few minutes. But we quickly forgot about it since we were happy to spend the weekend with our friend. When the trip back was a little over 3 hours, we thought it was weird but didn't think much of it at the time. It wasn't until my next trip to visit that I realized something had been strange. I spent that whole next trip waiting for the long path through the woods that we had been on the first time, but it never appeared. Following the same directions as the first time, the entire trip took me about 3 hours, as did every other trip I made out there in the following years. I don't know what happened, and I've never been able to replicate it. I still wonder what happened and where we really were when passing through those woods. When I was 5, my mother was diagnosed with cancer, and when I was 11, she passed away. It was the hardest experience I have ever had. A week after she passed away, I returned to school, and on that particular day, we had a fire drill. The alarm was sounding, and my class was falling into line outside. I wore my favorite Star Wars R2-D2 t-shirt. While we were standing outside, a woman approached me, pointed to my shirt, and said, "Do you like that?" I nodded and replied, "Yes." She then instructed me, "Look a little more happy, sweetheart." What shocked me was that this woman wore sunglasses that my mom used to wear, her favorite. She also wore shoes that were the same as my mom's and an identical fur coat. The only time I really did feel it was when I saw the woman with the hijab. My Middle Eastern immigrant mother had been made to wear one when she was a child. When the woman turned away, one of my classmates sitting beside me leaned over and whispered, "That was weird." And that made me feel better and know that I wasn't losing my mind. Ever since, I felt like I've had a shadow cast over me with random reminders of her. Sometimes I even hear her calling my name. She's helping out too, it seems. She will turn the lights on and wake me up sometimes by turning the lights on in my room. When me friends were 13 in the 80s, we bought an Ouija board from a pawn shop and took it to an abandoned farm barn to play with it. We asked it if there was anyone here with us, and it spelled out, "Your Gran," but we were joking around. We composed their laughter, and next we asked it, "How did you die?" And it spelled out Olwyn, which is Welsh for wheel, which was incredibly freaky as the farm was abandoned and land sold off after the elderly owner got run over by his own tractor. We didn't know this until later. He was slowly crushed to death as nobody could hear him screaming, and it was days before he was found. That's not the end of the story, though. We continued asking questions without a response, when suddenly one friend, Michael, started screaming and getting hysterical. He said he saw an old man with tons of blood on his waist and torso, and on his mouth, standing up on the old hay stacking attic area, looking down at them. It severely affected Michael, and he started doing poorly in school, isolating himself from his friends. And when we left school at 16, we never saw Michael again.